Contrary to common belief, I actually think that growing up poor is a benefit. So let me explain. Now, I grew up with not much money around, and although my mum did the best job she could, there were often times where we couldn't have the stuff I wanted, and I really felt the pinch of not having money when I was younger. But, a lot of people use this and they go through life and they're like, I'm poor, so I can't do this, or I grew up this way. But I'm here to tell you that I think that growing up poor is actually one of the best things that can ever happen to you. So about a year and a half ago, I was at my mum's wedding in beautiful Greece on the island of Crete. And we were sat there under the gazebo and the sun setting across this like crystal blue water, and it was absolutely amazing. And the vibe was absolutely unreal. And then all of a sudden, I seen a family friend of ours walk in, who's one of my mum's best mates' husbands, and he's an extremely successful CEO. I won't say his name, but he literally runs a £1 billion company in the UK, and he's hugely successful at what he does. And a few tequilas later, and as the sun's setting, I thought, now would be a good time to go and speak to him, because every time I spoke to this guy, he's always given me amazing advice. And when I was younger and I was going through a bit of a rough patch and I was a little bit of a naughty kid, he actually came and sat down with me and give me some advice and basically just explain his story to me. So I've always seen him as this multi-millionaire successful guy, but he was telling me when he was younger, he actually got kicked out of home a few times. He had to go and live with his granddad, and he wasn't the best behaved kid, very similar to me when I was younger, because I was sort of struggling dealing with not having a dad around, things like that, which at the time I was sort of using as a victim story. But I'll get later on in the video why it's actually so powerful to have these moments of pain in your childhood. But anyway, so we've sat down, having a few drinks, talking about life, talking about family, and he knows everything about our family history, and I've met him multiple times, and my mum tells him what's going on. And I actually used to work for his company when I was younger, so I used to work in sales for him, and I left this job to go and start my own social media marketing agency, which was like my second attempt at social media marketing agency. And he was speaking to me, and at the time I was making like $5,000 a month from running ads for clients in that industry. And he was like, I'm so proud of you, your sisters, I've got two sisters, and you are a testament to your mum. You've all done it. My sisters are hugely successful in their own fields, high up in their jobs, and one of my sisters is self-employed as well. And I was able to see success with that business pretty quick because of the skills that I'd actually learned working for him. So speaking to people on the phone, speaking to business owners almost every day, sales, marketing was all part of my job there. And anyway, we're talking away, and he started talking about his own kids, and he's like, I love my kids to bits, they're successful in their own way, but I just wish they had that, that for that drive that you guys have, to go on their own path, because I sort of had to push them a little bit. And although this guy came from nothing, this guy's hugely successful, this created an environment for his kids when he's trying to bring them up where it's a little bit sheltered. They've got a safety net there if things go wrong, and possibly have a trust fund, I don't know if they do, but this creates an environment where you're very comfy, and it's hard to make any progress when you're in your comfort zone. And when I think back to my own childhood, and this was the point of the video, the difference being, children that come from wealth, it's very hard for them to find a driver or a motivator to go out and do their own thing and make money, because they very often already got money there, or it's, it's not an object that's desired, because we always want something we can't have. So if you've already got money there, what is your reason or what is your why to go and get it? But for someone like me, who had lack, who didn't have it around, I find it very easy to be motivated to get money and to go after it, because, you always, as I said, you always want something you can't have, you always strive for it. And I was able to, channel that pain into motivation, essentially, and use it to do something good with it. But if you're pretty comfy and your parents are well off, which is not a bad thing at all, and I'm not saying this like us versus them, because in fact they can be amazing in most cases, and I actually really respect kids that come from money and then go on to do their own thing as well, because it's harder for them for not to, they have to really do some soul searching to find their why. Whereas if you come up from a poor background and stuff like that, you straight away you've got that motivation of I want something I can't have, I need to go and get it, I want to experience what that life is like to have money. And on a psychological level, we're obviously driven and propelled towards trying to get rich and make that money because we never had it. But as I said, if I actually look back at my childhood, the kids and I grew up in a fairly affluent area, but I didn't have any money by any means, which kind of made it worse, because I've kind of seen what it was like to have money versus like me really struggling to get by. The dynamic this can sometimes create is the people who come from the wealthy families and stuff, they can't take as many risks, they can't do as many skeptical get rich quick schemes or anything like that, or try these other things, because they might have a family name to protect, or they've already got their family business to go into, so they're not really exploring other options, they're not really interested, they're just sort of enjoying their life until they are sort of put into that role in the family business, whatever. But if you don't come from money, then you've essentially got nothing to lose, so you're very dangerous. And I can't remember who said the quote, but the person who's most dangerous in the room is the person who's got nothing to lose. So when you've got no family to impress, no nothing like that, you can try things and you can fail at a much higher rate than someone who's got that financial backing behind them, and they need to do something in the family business or something like that. They're not going to allow their reputation to falter that. And for a minute, I just want you to think about like your own upbringing, whether that was good, whether it was bad, whether it was amazing, And the one thing that I could give you in this video, and I hope you find value from this, and if this is the only thing you take from this video that's valuable, is how is the worst thing that ever happened to you actually the best thing that ever happened to you? And I want you to think about that for a minute. When you flip that on its head, it is so powerful, and that is literally like the thing I live by in my life, because when you do this, you're able to use that pain, use whatever, what went wrong with you, the upbringing, the family, the lack, and use that as a motivator to actually get you somewhere. Because in life, motivation gets you so far, discipline gets you the rest, but you need that motivation, to be on that path and have a big enough why to actually go and get it. And, in my own personal experience, when I was younger, I was, pretty naughty and stuff because I didn't really trust male role models. Now I look back on it on a psychological level. I didn't know that at the time, but, I was always naughty, put in isolation at school, very rebellious towards like male teachers and things like that because I just didn't trust them really when I look at it. But, at the time I thought, it's the worst thing ever. My dad's gone, he doesn't love me, all this stuff on a, subconscious level. I don't think I actually thought that on a conscious level. But now when I'm older, in retrospect, and I look back, I'm like, wow, that was actually the best thing that I could have ever have happened to me. Because, if my dad around, we have money still, then I wouldn't be so driven to, make money for my sister, make money for my mum, and, take her out of that position of pain. Looking at her in pain, struggling to get by, doing the best she can. We never went without food or anything like that. But when you see your parents like that, you want to help them and you want to do something better for them. So if I didn't have that, we come from a nice, comfy, stable family, I don't know whether I would have the same motivation and the discipline that I have now to go and do something. And I just want you guys to understand that, there's two mindsets you can adopt to this. You can be like, the woe is me, I can't do this because of that, I'm a victim, and the victim mindset. Or you can use that as your biggest motivator in life and go on to do such powerful things with it and unlock your true potential, channeling that pain into something good. Because in every failure, in every bit of pain, there's always a seed of success. Not a tree, not a full-grown tree, not a plant, the seed, and you need to water it and actually turn that into something that's going to help you and better your life. And if you're watching this and you come from a fairly stable background, you had a good family, then what the question I would give to you to ask yourself is, what is your why? And when you find your why, that's going to allow you to get so much further, because you're going to wake up every morning and know why you need to do it. Because when you don't have a reason to do it, a lot of times as humans, we don't want to do it. So if you find that why, you're going to have unlimited motivation to get there. So I hope you found this video valuable. And if you want more sort of videos like this style, sort of me just spitballing with you and giving you some, personal advice from experience and doing this for over 8 years, then leave a comment and let me know what you want to see next. So see you guys later.